Mr. Jones is an 80-year-old man, overweight at 250 pounds. He has hypertension and has developed adult new onset diabetes a few years ago. He takes blood pressure medications, beta blockers and calcium channel blockers, which he seems to be compliant with, and his blood pressure is under control. He also takes oral diabetic medications, metformin, glimepiride, as well as Levemir. Recently, he was admitted twice to the hospital for uncontrolled diabetes and has been discharged with a visiting nurse to perform diabetic teaching to improve his health and restore a normal lifestyle. In a moment, you will witness an interview that relates to Dorothy Johnson's 7 subsystems. And here we go. Hey Harry, how you doing today?
So I've been having trouble keeping my sugar in check.
Yeah, I can see that this morning your blood sugar before breakfast was 200. Has it been like that a lot lately?
Yeah.
Your blood pressure was under control, and that's good. Obviously, you're taking your blood pressure medications.
Yeah, that was easy.
Yeah. Have you been taking your metformin and your glimepiride and your Levemir?
Well, I take the oral medication, but occasionally I forget to take the insulin in the morning because when I'm upstairs in my room, I take my blood sugar, and when I come downstairs, I forget. Sometimes I just don't like to give myself the injection, or I just don't feel like it.
You don't feel like it. I see. Maybe you should leave your insulin upstairs in your room because Levemir doesn't need to be refrigerated. Have you been eating the proper combinations of food appropriate for a diabetic diet, as we discussed?
I try, but I think I may be doing something wrong, and sometimes I have cravings that I can't
control. You can't
Yeah.
control the cravings, yeah. Okay, well, first of all, don't be too hard on yourself. Everything in moderation, and if you fall off the wagon, then you can get back on. Later, you and I will discuss how to make your choices a bit easier so it doesn't seem like a strict diet. That's never successful. So I'll write 2 lists. One list will be of proteins and the other list will be of complex carbohydrates. So when you're uncertain about what combinations of food you should eat, you can choose one item from each column. That should make it a little easier for you.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Another important question I have you been getting enough exercise?
Well, sometimes I walk to the mailbox. I don't like to exercise.
Yeah, well, a lot of people don't like to exercise, but let me explain the importance of exercise. Now, you don't have to be hardcore, just 10 minutes a day would be fine, because you must keep your circulation moving. Let me explain in layman terms so you can visualize how important it is to move. You know, diabetics have sugar in the blood, so when you move the muscles, you soak up the sugar, and they use it for energy. And the sugar doesn't remain in the blood. Therefore, it lowers your blood sugar and reduces the need for your oral medications and insulin. It also improves your mood. And I hope I explained that well enough for you.
Yeah.
Have you been having any difficulties that you're a little concerned about?
Well, yes, I feel tired a lot. My feet have been bothering me. I'm always urinating. And at times I have bouts of diarrhea. Sometimes I won't leave the house because I'm afraid of having an accident outside.
All right, well, let's address each concern. First, when you feel tired, check your blood sugar. It could be low. Ordinarily, though, diabetic meds won't cause your fatigue, but you do have an underactive thyroid, and you should discuss that with your endocrinologist because maybe he can lower your dose. You do also take blood pressure medications, and that most definitely will cause fatigue. Now, to address your feet, you do have peripheral neuropathy, which is common in most diabetics. You take gabapentin twice a day. I'll speak with your primary doctor and see if we can increase the amount of times that you take the gabapentin and see if that works. Hopefully that'll allow you to even walk around more. Now, the problem with your frequent urination is a classic sign of diabetes. Allow me to make you understand. Excess sugar in the blood forces the kidney to work harder to filter and absorb excess sugar. That sends a signal to the brain that interprets thirst. Also, the kidneys are drawing fluid to move the sugar out of the blood, and that causes you to urinate, which leaves you dehydrated. And when you're dehydrated, you drink more, and then you urinate more. But more of a concern is your diarrhea, because it's preventing you from leaving the house to socialize. And I know you, Harry, you're a social butterfly. Bouts of diarrhea can be episodic, with intermittent, normal bowel movements and constipation. Is that what happens to you, Harry?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you do take you do take metformin, and that does cause diarrhea. But I would like to speak to your endocrinologist first. Maybe he can refer you to a gastroenterologist. But in the meantime, before you go out for an entire day, why don't you take Imodium or Lamodal? That's an anti-diarrheal, and maybe that'll help you. This way you don't feel so uncomfortable like going out, and it won't interfere with your social life.
I never thought of that.
Harry, I realize most people don't like to hear this, but you must be a little more cognizant of paying attention to your blood sugar. I know at times you just don't feel like bothering, but by not caring, you're threatening your health. Diabetes is life-threatening, and the damage it does creeps up on you. It's like a car that hasn't changed its oil. Eventually, the engine deteriorates, just like the organs in your body. When we discuss the list of food combinations, we will also work together to make a simple plan to check your blood sugar so it doesn't appear to be such a burden.
Yeah, okay.
I see you have a friend who's interested in helping you also.
Yeah, I do. Is she diabetic also?
Oh, she's diabetic too. Great. Well, then together you can benefit from learning how to take care of your diabetes. And why don't we give her a call now to come over so you both can learn together and help each other so you don't fall off the wagon. Okay. Bye, guys. Eric, you need to cut it.